Welcome back to Rossoneri TV. I'm Gio and I'm alongside Adamo Ritaco to preview the match between Milan and Torino that will be played tomorrow night, 4:05 p.m. It's the last match at the San Siro for the season. And of course, we are playing a team like Torino that, although they didn't do too well this season, they're doing better than us. And of course, they have some expectations and maybe a possible Europa League position that they could still reach if they do win their last two remaining games. Very unlikely, but until that chance is there, they still shouldn't give up a goal. Speaking of which, the Europa League qualification, of course, done last week for AC Milan with that loss against Sassuolo. But the process of the Europa League qualification, because Genoa, which are currently in 6th place, should be able to qualify. However, UEFA hasn't given them their license. Therefore, like we had seen with the whole situation between Torino and Parma last season, it seems like the whole thing will repeat itself this season with Genoa. And as it stands, the 7th position will be getting that Europa League qualification spot, which is Sampdoria still have the chance to pass them. So that is why they're still in this race. But without further ado, guys, let's speak about AC Milan. Of course, very embarrassing season altogether. I think we said it for the millionth one time. But obviously, no more expectations from Milan. It's just going to really be based on if they could get 2 results in the next 2 games, or if we lose. I mean, there's nothing to be ashamed about at this point. I mean, the real shame of the season has already happened, and we have already gone through very embarrassing moments all along. So really, AC Milan in these next matches couldn't accomplish in these last 2 matches, but rather what they did all season long, because that is what they will be remembered as. Not for winning their last 2 matches, but what they did all season long, and just provide embarrassing results week in and week out. So as I said, Torino, of course, is the team that's more motivated in this matchup, as they still have something to play for, and they need to obtain victories. I don't think it's going to be an easy match altogether for Torino. I mean, Milan, despite their bad form, their bad results, at the San Siro, they still want to prove something to their fans, even though it's too late. But it's never easy, because at the end of the day, you're still playing against Milan, a team that, even though they don't have, and they've been pretty embarrassing all season round, still the name stands out. So the players will try to do something about it, and they're not just going to give Torino an easy 3 points like that. Now, Adam, of course, many players are missing due to suspensions, injuries, and so forth. I'm speaking about Montolivo, De Sciglio, Antonelli, Bonaventura, Suso, all out for suspension. And of course, the mighty Sule Ali Muntari, that he just doesn't know where he has to do but drive in his Lambo. But other than that, Adamo, what do you make of this matchup? As I said, Milan, no expectations coming into this match, but still would be able and would want to fight for their last match at home, wouldn't they?
Well, really, I don't really expect much, as we all probably don't. Nothing to go for the season. We're not going to get relegated. We're not going to make Europe. We're not going to get any bonuses from winning this match. Nothing's really going to happen. The only really motivation that the players do have is that it's the last game at the San Siro, and like you said, they're going to want to give the fans at least something to kind of look forward to, maybe a sign of good things to come. Even though I doubt that'll happen, but I guess we can only hope. But since all those injuries and the suspensions, if I don't see at least 2 to 3 players, I'm talking to you, Mr. Inzaghi, okay? If I don't see at least 2 to 3 Primavera players, I will lose my mind, because I don't understand why, what excuse he can possibly come up with to not play them. I was actually kind of shocked, because even Berlusconi said himself that he told them, play the youth players, and he didn't even play them. So I don't know what the hell this guy's thinking. It's probably fuck you, I don't care anymore, I'm not going to listen. I don't know what's going on. But I don't see any reason to not play youth players. You know, with Antonelli out, we should be seeing a left back from the Primavera. We should be seeing Di Moffetta. Modic, if he's available, I'm not too sure. He's doing some partying on his Instagram account over there. Besides that, yeah, him and Michael Fabro. But besides them, hopefully we see some youth players. As I said, I hope to see at least 2 to 3. At least, I expect more, but I hope to see at least that. And there's no more excuses for Inzaghi to not do so.
Yeah, funny that you said there. A lot expected to be called up, and these include Felicioli, Di Moffetta, might even see Mastali, a very good done. A little bit, you guys want to see and hear more about these players, you can actually check out the account and follow the youth series that we had started a few months ago. So 3 or 4 players which will be probably called up by Inzaghi and I've actually read the statement by Inzaghi today, or at least the message that he tried to give the fans, saying that probably the best youngsters in Milan right now are the ones born in 1998. And if that's the case, these are about, what, 16, 17-year-olds we're talking about. And, of course, he doesn't feel comfortable to play these guys in big Serie A matches, which I could understand. I could understand that these guys are probably the best you could get as all they need can't just be put in Serie A matches and expect to perform, but leave aside these 17-year-olds and focus on the Primavera players, guys that already got experience in the Primavera. And of course, I've been called up so many times by Inzaghi this season to warm up the bench. Literally, it gets cold sometimes on there, and they just need more bodies to warm up that bench. So at the same time, I mean, you can't blame Inzaghi for not playing the real best caliber youngsters in Milan right now. And speaking about still some stick for not playing these Primavera players with a chance in this team as games. Games really have no meaning, no motivation for these players. At least maybe bring in some youth players which will add some motivation to play, and of course try to get something out of it, maybe for the future, maybe for next season, who knows, but something out of it. Now let's take a look at the probable starting 11, shall we? Because of course Inzaghi will be with 4-3-3 once again. Now this is where the complications really begin in defense, because Shio, Antonelli out. This is probable defense that we could see. Abate starting on the right, Alex Paletta in the middle, Bocchetti on the left. Now, other rumors have actually been suggesting that Bonera might be playing as a fullback. I really hope not, even though these matches don't matter. But I just don't want to see Bonera. That's the end of it. So Bocchetti, a guy that hasn't been playing much, having some nothing to be so happy about. So I guess Bocchetti starting on the left will be a pretty decent option after what we know the players that will be missing. Therefore, it's an okay backline, nothing special, but nothing really more. As for the midfield, fully expect to start on the right, De Jong in the middle, Van Ginkel on the left. Now, Van Ginkel, I guess you could be speaking about youth there, but really, it's not like as if he's from like what we have seen the past few weeks. Van Ginkel starting into games, and of course, against Roma, good accomplishment for him. But I mean, Van Ginkel, you guys still need to know that he has that clause there with Chelsea that he needs to play a certain amount of games. So of course, Inzaghi is gonna field him to avoid further cost. And up front, Esharawi on the left, Pazzini on the right. Now Adamo, of course, nothing to be so excited about this lineup. and now he's gonna have to be playing. And I don't know. What do you think?
Well. Uh, as we look at the starting lineup, as we just previously talked about, if this is what we see, I'll be pretty upset. The only really thing I can look forward to is El Shaarawy being back, of course. It's been quite a long time since he's actually had a consistent run of games. I think he probably didn't even play more than like 5 games a season, made 5 appearances at the very least, because you play a game, get injured for like 6 months, play a game, get injured for 6 months.
Yeah.
So seems like he's made of glass. Hopefully he's not. Hopefully this is just bad luck that's happening. If he's really this weak in his bones or whatever is going on, it might not be too good for his future. But hopefully it's not the case. We don't want another Pato as somebody who a lot of people compare him to. But yeah, if that was the starting lineup, I'd probably be pretty upset. Considering, like I said, I'm hoping to see 2 to 3 at least youth players. But it's kind of hard for these sites to predict which youth players are going to play.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't really expect this to be the starting lineup. You can't really just bet on okay. Because they don't have really good judgment on the youth players, because it's hard to really watch them in matches and really dictate who's the best out of who's going to start where. So it's kind of hard to really say, oh, this youth player is going to start here, whatever. So I don't expect this to be the lineup, but it should be a good basis of what's going on. If I see Bonera in that starting lineup, I might cry. Because it's just been so long. I just want to see him there so bad, It's just what everybody wants. You want to see Bonera in the final match at the San Siro when you have nothing to go for. That's just what you want. But besides that, I don't really expect too much from this game. I actually see Torino winning, but I'm sure we'll get to that later on. Because they do want that Europa League spot, and Milan are just Milan. They're just dead right now. There's no motivation. There's no demotivation. It's just dead.
Well, one thing's for sure, we'll see if Inzaghi actually listens to Berlusconi's comments about the youth, and we'll see if he actually in the starting 11, or at least make them make an appearance sometime in the second half at the very least. Now let's take a look fast at the Torino lineup, because they'll be going with a 3-5-2 most probably. Glick, pretty much the killer of this team. You never know what to expect from this guy, and as a defender, he just gets so many goals, especially on set pieces. He's a real aerial threat for Torino. Yarsin and Moretti, the other defenders, expected to start alongside. Now, this is where Torino's score and real problems come in, because they're just so skilled. You might not think of it, but this team pretty much beat Juventus this season, and they actually had some quite decent results. You got Darmian, so much pace there, and it might cause Milan's defense lots of problems. Bruno Perez on the other side, which, by the way, recent rumors have been suggesting the swap between him and El Shaarawy, but we won't be all that in the month of June once the season ends. Other than that, Benassi, Gassi, El Kaduri expected to start for Torino as well. In the middle, Lopez will not be called up by Ventura for this match. He mentioned it today in his press conference. Overall, it's a team that, as I mentioned, have the motivation to do well and to win these last 2 remaining matches. So, of course, I see them coming in strong in this matchup, even though it's at the San Siro. I still see them slightly in this matchup. And with so many absentees and key players such as Bonaventura and Menez, even though Menez has been selfish all season round, he still has provided and been clinical to this team all along with his goals. So many absentees from Milan through injuries or through suspensions. Many players that have been warming up the bench all season round will be forced to come onto this match and actually give in their best. So I don't see very positive things from Milan this matchup. But, of course, to conclude, we have our prediction time. Adamo, what is your prediction on this matchup?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all shapes and sizes, let's get ready for this prediction. I'm going to say a 2-1 Torino win. I know I'm predicting Torino to win this match. Kind of odd, much like a lot of other teams in other leagues, except those teams. Let's say, for example, Manchester United. They're in a position where if they win, not much happens. If they lose, not much happens. I'm pretty sure they're facing Hull or something like that, where if they win, then they get relegated. I don't know, something about that. But with Milan, it's pretty much the same scenario, except we're the team closer to the relegation zone, and we're fighting a team that could possibly make Europa League with the win. So I'm predicting a 2-1 Torino win, obviously. Hopefully somebody like El Shaarawy scores or a youth player. That's pretty much all I can really hope for, but I don't think we're going to be winning this match.
Yeah, on my half, I mean, for a team that said that we will have to play 6 or 7 finals and then losing 4 out of the 5 teams, I mean, that is just embarrassing because you're pretty much making a promise to the fans, yet you're still losing by embarrassing margins to teams such as Napoli, Genoa, and so forth. But, you know, the recent win, the last win coming against Roma and then losing to Sassuolo, absolutely making no sense. But we have to say about Milan. But as a result, you know, I'm gonna try to stay optimistic, but I'm gonna have to say maybe a 1-1 tie game. You know, just because I think Milan can still get something in their last match at the San Siro. Not a win, but maybe a tie. For sure, I see Torino scoring in this matchup. You know, Milan's defense has been so vulnerable every game, and I can't recall the last time we actually kept a clean sheet. Well, really, it's been so long ago. That was probably Christmas, maybe even before. Who knows? But anyways, yeah, I just don't see Milan not conceding in this matchup. We might get a goal or two, but Torino will definitely score a goal in this matchup. So I'm gonna go with a 1-1 tie. We'll see what happens. But other than that, that has been our match preview. Don't forget to join Adamo Ritaco tomorrow as he will review the match. It's been a long season. The match between Milan and Torino on Rossoneri TV. So make sure to tune in on the channel once the match ends, as he will cover it all for you guys. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to Rossoneri TV to stay updated with everything AC Milan, especially after the season is done. Transfer rumors, discussions, season review. We're gonna get it all here on Rossoneri TV with many special guests. So, who knows? It might be you. Just subscribe to the channel, follow us on the social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. And we'll see you tomorrow for the match review. Thank you for watching. This has been Gio and Adamo signing off. And as usual, Forza Milan.